So we're going to start with the glide reflection. And to do that, you're going to still start with the rectangle today. I want everybody to try this when they get into the lab. So take your rectangle, just like before. Just click and drag. Then go and unfill it and make your line a thinner weight, like 3/4. I'm going to zoom in here. You can see it a little bit better. Okay, so on a glide reflection, you're going to do half of it the same way as a translation, and half of it, you change one thing. So take the curve tool, or you could take the polygon tool. I'm going to start with the curve tool, and I'm going to go corner to corner again. So I'm going to click on the corner here, and then remember, I don't need to click and drag. I just click, and now I can move my mouse. And so say I want to do like a little curve here, then I'm going to double click where I end on the other corner. Then copy it, so you can hold the control key down. You see you get that little addition sign. Click and drag. But when you get it down to the bottom, since you're sliding down, this is called a glide reflection, then you're going to reflect horizontally. So you're going to slide down, and then you're going to reflect, which is called a flip, but a horizontal flip. So you slide down and flip horizontally. Okay. Then you go back to insert and pick a curve tool again, or you could do this polygon tool. And this part, you just do like a regular translation. So maybe you want to do something like that. You don't have to get too fancy. And then you're going to just translate that over, and you don't do a flip. Now, you would do a file save as, or a file save, and remember to give it the name. So this would be Karoo glide reflection shape. And so I'm going to just put that somewhere that I can find it. And I'll save that. Okay, let's cancel. Look, I'm going to call it shape 2, because I already have something saved under that. So for your class. Now I delete the box and group the items. So over under format, you could go to group. Now I'm going to view the full page now. So when I copy this to the right, it's just a translation. It might be nice to change the color just so you guys can see the difference for a minute, and maybe zoom in a bit more. So you want to kind of remember, we're not doing any of the fancy art stuff yet. So when I copy left to right, I don't have to do a flip because I didn't flip it to make it. But if I want to copy vertically, when I copy this, it doesn't fit in here until I do a horizontal flip. So that's the ones that go back and forth. So a lot of times you'll see these with, you know, matching colors, but they might be, which is it? They might be turned into like Tyler was saying, turned into some kind of animal, like this could be a fish. So if I want to paste it in, since I did a horizontal flip, I have to do a horizontal flip down here. Oops, I don't need to do that. Sorry about that. Just translate right there. Does that make sense? Okay, so that would be a glide reflection on a rectangle. I'm going to just save as, and then I'd say glide reflection. Once I do this whole page, it's going to be a tessellation. Okay, I'm going to change one thing now, and I'm not going to save it, but the way I did that was on a rectangle where I can do the almost exact same thing, but I can make my shapes go up and down instead of left and right. So how do you think I can do that? Start with one, then you can do the other. How could I change that? Yeah, Nick. Right. I could do the translation from top to bottom and the glide reflection from right to left. So without getting fancy here, I could do kind of the same thing, but instead of making this the glide reflection part, I could just make this the straight translation part. And then over here, I can do something here. And when I copy this, I copy horizontally, so I'm going to flip vertically. So if you copy left, right, you have to flip up, down. Does that make sense? And then you group all of these. You would save your shape, but I'm just trying to show you the difference. So I'm not going to save any of this. And then when I translate this, it doesn't just translate left, right. I have to flip it vertically to put it in. But when I translate them this way, they'll fit in perfectly. So these ones are going in opposite directions, up, down, instead of left, right. Does that make sense? Okay. So when you get into the lab, that's what you're going to do.